Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all been staying safe and healthy at home. I've been doing the same thing, haven't stepped out in more than a month. I think this is becoming our new normal. Hopefully, it won't last for too long and we will be back to our usual routines. Until then, we just have to make the best of this situation and try to help others as much as we can. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how I make these masks. They are fabric masks made from 100% cotton fabric. This is quilting cotton fabric. This one has the fun bicycle print. I really like it. I've been making these masks to donate. As you probably know, you would have seen it from my previous videos. So if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link down below where you can go and check out my earlier video. These face masks are a bit different because they have a filter pocket opening where you can insert filter material, additional filter material. You can actually put in the surgical masks inside this opening, or you can use some non-woven interfacing or a non-woven layer like maybe flannel or t-shirt material. I've seen people use paper towels as well as even coffee filters. So you can probably do your research on that and decide which is the best material for you. These have long fabric ties which are about 34 inches total in length. That leaves enough material to go around your head comfortably and make sure it fits to your face better than the elastic masks. I've heard that the elastic masks that have the elastic over here are really uncomfortable after a few hours of use. So if you're a healthcare worker or an essential services worker, it might become uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. But if you're just wearing it for grocery shopping or just to step out for a few minutes, it should be okay. These masks are washable and you can wash them in hot water and reuse them. So that's really great. These masks don't offer much protection against the coronavirus, but when used over medical grade or professional masks like the N95 masks, these are good to help extend the lifetime of those masks and keep their original masks safe. But these masks you can use around the house while you're dusting or for while you're gardening, to protect you against the pollen that we seem to have a lot of this year. So these are good for those kind of uses while you're doing a craft project or you're working on your workshop and you don't want your sawdust to get into your nose. This is a good option for that. Before I move on to the tutorial, I just wanted to point out that I didn't check the focusing of the video. So in some of the parts where I'm showing you how I actually make the mask, the camera seems to have tilted a little bit down on the stand and my face is a little cut off in the video, but I think the instruction portion of the video is pretty clear still. I apologize for the incorrect focusing and I hope to improve it in the next videos. I'm so sorry about that. I just wanted to point that out before anyone sees it. I think the instructions are pretty clear. So if you have any questions or if you want me to show you any step again, please feel free to let me know in the comments and I will do my best to refilm and let you know, or post a new video for that portion alone. Let me know if that's something you're interested in seeing. I apologize for the error on focusing again. So let's get started with the video. I'll just show you what supplies I have at hand. I'm making this mask for a man. So I tried to find some manly looking fabric. This is like a motorcycle print. I got it from Joanne Fabrics. It's 100% quilting cotton. So I tried to take the print so that the motorcycles are upright. You wouldn't want to sew it like this. There are it's in all directions, but you get what I'm saying. So this is 9 inches by 9 inches. It's a square. So if you have one of those 9-inch by 9-inch square gridded quilting rulers, that would be awesome if you need to make many of these. So this is going to be the front part. I have another square of quilting cotton. This is yellow, and this is also from Joann Fabrics. I got it through their curbside pickup. So this is also 9-inch by 9-inch. So this doesn't have a right side or a wrong side, but if you were using another print, try to keep the wrong side down and the right side facing up. So, and the top layer will be the wrong side up and the right side facing down. It'll make more sense as I go on, I promise. So I'll just keep them one on top of the other. As you can see, the sides don't need to really line up or anything like that, where this is going to be on the inside of the mask. So another thing what I needed to mention is that these masks are going to be like masks with a filter pocket. So these are going to be the pleated surgical style face masks. They are also known in the mask making world as the deaconess pattern, but it's just the deaconess with a filter pocket. This is so that you can have an opening at the bottom of the mask. That's how I have kept it. I've also seen a lot of other folks keep the opening at the back part of the mask facing you, but I've heard that it gets in the way of your mouth while you're talking, and you know, it keeps rubbing against your mouth or your nose, and it's kind of irritating. So I wanted to keep the opening at the bottom, where it will be somewhere near your chin and not in the way, so that you can use filters, any filters that you have. So I've seen a lot of different filters. I'll just tell you some of them, but I don't know the accuracy or effectiveness of each filter material. So this is at your own discretion, and I cannot be responsible for anything that may happen when you use this mask. This is just a cloth face mask. It doesn't prevent you from catching the coronavirus. It doesn't protect you against, you know, big viruses, virus particles. And what I mean is, like, it doesn't protect you against dangerous viruses. It just helps you keep some dirt out, pollen out, and it will also help you it will protect people who are around you from any germs that you may have. So if you think you're sick and you need a mask to protect other people in your family, this is a good option. Another note is that so I'm going to call this the fabric sandwich because that's what it is. And this fabric sandwich is made from 100% cotton. This cotton has been washed in my home washing machine in hot water, and it has been run on the hot cycle of the dryer, so it's pre-shrunk. So always make sure your cloth is pre-shrunk, because you don't want it to stitch a perfect looking mask and then put it in the washer and then have it turned out in like a crumply, wrinkled, pulled and stretchy mess. So it's better you get it washed before you start, and ironed as well, so that you have a good clean start. Okay, enough jibber jabber. So this is your fabric sandwich. I'm just going to roll and fold a 1/4 inch at the bottom. I'm just eyeballing it. I don't have a fixed you know, like a seam measure or anything like that. I just try to make the front piece and the back piece look the same. That's about it. So fold it once, and then we're going to fold it again, so that all the raw edges are inside and you won't have any seams fraying or ripping. So this is what it looks like. Oops. So this is what the rolled seam looks like. you can tell how long the back part is. So that's how much we have folded over. And now what I'm gonna do is use my roller. This is a seam roller that I just got from Amazon. It is such a lifesaver. I think I should make more videos about it and what I use it for, but you have a gist of it now. So I just roll it to make the seams flat, and you turn the sandwich over. And what I do is I use the first folded seam to give me an idea of how much to fold on this side. So I just try to match up the edges so that it is not too much, and then I fold this down so that this is kind of like doing the same hem but in reverse. Okay, I'm just gonna roll it again. When you've been making as many masks as I have, your fingers kind of like wear out with all the finger creasing and pressing, and also the ironing. The first few batches of masks that I made, I was pressing each seam, and the steam and the heat was I really started burning my fingers, and my fingers were so sore I couldn't sew for like 4 days. So this is your completed sandwich, and we are getting started with the first step, which is just joining these edges with a seam. It's just, I'm going to be sewing it with a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I just do whatever I feel like, but it's good to do 1/4 inch minimum. You don't want it too close to the edge because then the cloth may fray and you don't know how long this will last. You want it to be, what do you say? You want it to be strong, and you want this mask to stand up to repeated washings and ironing and a lot of high heat environments at hospitals. So you want it to be strong. I have my machine threaded up, and I'm going to start now with a 1/4 inch seam. I'm just gonna line it up and put down the needle. So I have it set with the, I can't sew when I talk because it's probably too loud, but most fabric stores are out of fabric and thread, so please don't judge me for using yellow thread on a mask. I've tried to use yellow fabric so that it's relatively matching. I'm just gonna finish that off. This Juki has a nice reverse and lock option with which cuts your threads for you, so that's really awesome as well. Gonna just trim off any stray thread, and now we're going to sew the next 2 seams. So I'm just going to leave one seam pinned because we don't want it to come off. I like sewing things this way, but I think you are meant to sew with like the bulk of the material on that side, but I just like doing things like this, so I'm just gonna continue. Oh, I had my machine turned down. done. I'll trim off. I usually have like a small bowl on my tabletop to catch the stray thread. That's quite a tongue twister. But so now we're on to the last seam of the pocket, and sit down. And lock. Okay, so this is done too. And always try to open your seams at this stage, and you want it so that the material goes towards the darker cloth. If you have two different cloths, if it's like the same color or pattern, it doesn't matter. Okay, that's done. This is just a step to help you press it a little bit cleaner. I sometimes I just do all the sewing and then bother with the pressing, but might as well show you the best way to get it done instead of the fast way. I'm sure you guys can come up with your own, improvements on this process. And I am by no means an experienced seamstress. I only stitch straight lines, which are not so straight, but okay. So now what I do is I'm just going to fold it in half like this. This is just so that I know where the half is, and I'm just going to fold it somewhat like this. This is so that we can leave, I'm not bothering with pins and needles and stuff like that, clips. So I'm just going to leave about 4 inches. So here I can measure it on my machine. It has like a ruler on this side. So it is about 4 inches. This is so that you can put the filter material inside the pocket. I'm just going to leave it open like that. So we're still sewing on the wrong side. So stitch from this edge till here, leave a gap, and then stitch from here till this edge. Okay, I promise it'll make more sense once I stitch it. So I always try to just line one side at least, so that it's not too off. And oops. Okay, I'm just going to set down the needle and start. I'm going to finish that off and then put the needle down over here. So, oops. Okay. And finish that off as well. Okay, and what you can do is press the seam open and then turn it the other way and press this open as well. You can even do this once you flip it inside out, but I like doing it at this stage. Okay, and we're just going to turn it inside out so that the right side comes up outside. And there you have it. Okay, so I'll be showing you how to do the pleats on the side, but before that we just need to press these seams flat, because right now it's like ballooning. And all the steps we took earlier to press this flat will come really handy here. You don't need to bring out your iron box or steam it or anything. Just need to go over the seam because it's already been folded. Okay. I just do it for different wrinkles, but you don't have to. And now I'm going to show you how to do the pleats. Okay, I'm trying to record this standing up so that you can see what I'm doing. This is the bottom of the mask with the filter pocket opening. These sides are open right now. So what I'm going to do is take the top edge and fold it down like so, and just make a finger crease. You don't need the roller. And then I'm just going to roughly fold it in half again, and then I'm just going to open it back out, leaving it 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, or like half of an inch here. So just gonna be like that. Try to make the pleats even, or as even as possible. So I'm gonna try to make sure that this length is the same as this length. So I'll just turn it over. This is what it looks like at the back, and we'll just crease that. You can do this with your fingers or with the back of a pen or anything handy. And now what I'm going to do is, to make the second pleat, we're going to just, this fold that you had done earlier, just push it back to this one and then fold that down. So now you have your second pleat done. And the third one is just, I'm just going to keep my fingers about 3/4 of the way here and just walk it back and just slide it back actually, and then fold it down. So now I have my third pleat, and now I'm just going to, arrange it and see. I'm just going to hold it down with one hand and turn it like this and get the clips on. I just slid the fabric to the end of my table. That's why it's out of the camera view. But I'll just show you what I mean in a minute. So I have one side pinned, so I can show you this side. This is how the pleats are nestled. So you can see how this is one, then there's another one, then there's another one. So you don't have all the bulk on one area. It's just evenly distributed. And then you have the ends that are still thick anyway. I'm gonna pin this side as well. Try to get all the layers without folding this. Okay, now you're all set. This is the top of the mask, this is the bottom opening, and you always need to make sure that the pleats are going downwards. So this is so that when doctors and nurses are working on things, if there's some powder or like something like pollen or sawdust or whatever falls on this, it will just skim off and fall down, as opposed to having it this way where all these folds will just keep catching the dirt and act like a container for the dirt instead of letting it fall off. So that's the reason why you need to have the pleats go downwards. So I hope that's clear. Now I'm just going to sew a straight line down from this side and one straight line down on this side from 1/4 inch from the end. So I'll just sew that and get back. Okay, now I'm gonna get ready to sew. I'm gonna start sewing this side where the pleats are facing down. This is the easier side because it works with the direction that the machine usually runs. The other way is a little bit more tricky. I'll show you what I mean. I'm just gonna, I've never sewed this close up on camera, so I had to try that I don't mess things up while looking at the camera. So okay, just gonna leave the pins aside, and this is where my scissors comes in handy to hold it down. Okay, I'm gonna get started. Okay, just keep I'm gonna go back and it'll cut it. Okay, that's pretty decent, if I may say so myself. And we're just gonna trim the loose threads because there's so many of them. Okay, these are going to be inside the strap ties, so that's not too bad, but it's always good to have it cleaned up. Now this is going to be the trickier side, the other side, because the presser foot is going to want to get stuck inside this. So you have to be a bit more careful and a little bit slower while sewing this, because I'm not such an experienced seamstress. I'm just going to move the needle a little bit because I don't want it to be on the edge of the gray fabric. Take care not to sew my fingers. Oops. And we're good there. Gonna do some more of the trimming. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to the straps. I mean the ties. Oops, sorry, shook the tripod. I'm just gonna move on to the folding the ties, but before that I want to just trim off some excess fabric, this yellow fabric on this side. So I'm going to use my Fiskars scissors. This thing cuts through many layers of fabric really easily. So I know it looks like I'm hacking through it really badly, but it will make more sense once I move on to the next step. Oops. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It's just basically making all these pleats even. I'm just going to cut out the ties. I use my ruler to just draw two ties. They're 2 inches in width and I think about 36 inches in length. So I try to have like about 16 to 17 inches per tie so that it goes around the heads of doctors and nurses who are wearing scrub caps, etc. They might need to have their hair up in a bun, so it's better that you know, leave the straps a little loose so that they have enough material. If you would like another video about like the supplies or the tools I use to make this go a lot quicker, there will be one up shortly. I had a few friends request me to make such a video. I hope this will be useful and help you figure out how to make fabric masks for yourselves or for your loved ones. Okay, I'll just divide that. We will be making double folded bias tape for this. I always also have a bias tape maker that's like this white thing you can see over there. Someone sent it to me. She had it 3D printed by her husband. I'll give you more details in my next video, but that was sent to me so that I can help with the mask making effort in Atlanta. So I'm really happy to be a part of my sewing group. They're really awesome people, and a lot of different ideas are being shared, gadgets like this, techniques to help, you know, speed things up, all that. So I have my 2 strips cut out now. I'll also show you how I fold them. As you can see, there's like a line down the center. That's where I use one ruler for this length and one for this. This is the ruler that I use. Okay, so take a strap, right side outside, wrong side inside. This one is the same on both sides, but I'm just going to use this pencil mark to denote the inside or the bad side. And now we're just going to fold it in half. This is for people without bias tape makers, people like me. I'm just going to show you the low technology version. You use your nails to crease it. See, works out pretty good. Or what you can do is use an iron and oops, let me get my roller. Or you can also stitch this as you go, but I'm still not really good at it, so I'm not going to show it. You can look at YouTube for more tutorials by experienced seamstresses on how to make sew as you go, or make as you go tape. I don't know, whatever you call it. I'm not at that stage yet. And I sew after my work in the nights mostly, so I'm really sleepy and very tired, so I don't need anything else that makes me have to use my brain. So anyway, this is almost done. Then what you're gonna do is, if you can get it open, we'll fold it back, fold these 2 sides to the center like this, and then press it. So I'll do that. I'll show you a little bit, but I'll do most of it off camera. This is gonna be a really long video, and you can see how crisp that is. That's pretty good, right? And fold this down as well. So this is what your completed bias tape is going to look like. So I'll meet you once I finish this whole thing. Now one tie is ready. I'm just gonna line up the edges and fold it in half. This is so that I know the midpoint of the straps, the ties. I don't know why I keep saying straps, but anyway. So that line is somewhere around here. And you need to take your mask and find the midpoint of this side. So just approximately fold it over. It's usually somewhere on the second pleat. Now open your double folded bias strip. Keep the middle of this mask portion on the middle of the strip and then fold it over like this. So you have encased the raw edges. I just use 2 clips to secure this, and I'm just going to sew a line down this edge. You can skip this step if you're okay with starting at the edge of this strip and then going till the end, but I like to do 2 lines just so that it's secure. So I'm just going to sew 1 line down the front. Just going to start with one side. Make sure you have both the layers. And just gonna sew down. Till about here. Okay, make sure you got all the layers, and now I'm just gonna trim the thread. Okay, front and back. Okay, and now we're just gonna finish up the entire tie on one side. So this is the part we had folded before. I'm just folding it down to finish the edge and give it a clean look. Fold it down, and this is the last step of the mask. Just sew straight down all through till you reach the other end of the tie. So I have one tie done completely. Now we'll do the same thing for this side, and I'll see you after I finish that. So that's it. You have a completed mask. The pleats go downwards at the front, and you have the filter pocket opening. And the reason why I have a different back from the front is so that doctors and nurses who might need to wear this for long shifts will know which side was facing outwards towards the patients and which side was facing towards them. So I'm trying to put a solid cloth at the back and have the prints on the outside. This is so that in case they need to remove it sometime during the day when they need to take a break, and if they need to use this again, they will not use the other side by mistake or in a hurry. So that's a good tip to know and use. And another thing to remember is always wash this mask in hot water after each use, and dry it in the sun if you don't have a dryer, or put it in the hot cycle in your dryer so that all germs are killed. And if there's anything stuck in there that can irritate you, it will go away as well. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and leave me a comment below if you have any questions, and if you want to see more such videos, do let me know that as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Until my next video, that's all for me for now. I'll see you later. Bye bye.